What is up? It's Joe Bragg with the Christian Board Gamers YouTube channel, and today we're going to be reviewing not one game, but two. We're going to be looking at New Kingdom Gardeners and New Kingdom Sowers, both by New Kingdom Gaming. Very excited. Not going to be doing how to play videos, just going to give you kind of a brief little overview and just share some of the things that I enjoyed about the game, or the games in this case. And so, as we're looking, even going to jump right in here into New Kingdom Gardeners, my favorite piece to this actually is the way the game ends. You have this card right here. It's the Master Gardener. And when the Master Gardener comes out in the draw, it's the harvest is here, right? It's signifying like God has returned, right? He's come back. And what happens there is everyone will take a turn up until it gets to the first player. And then, again, game's ended and we're going to start taking scores. But the way this works is after you've done the initial setup, you're going to take 9 cards. You're going to put the Master Gardener in there and you're going to shuffle it up. And so you don't know when the Master Gardener is going to return, which I just think is really, really cool. Like that aspect a lot. And so then you would take that and you would place that here, but you would also have these cool miracle cards, which get kept out in the initial setup, and they get shuffled into the main deck. So you shuffle up these miracle cards. Those are all going to get a good shuffle or whatever. And then you take the now 10 cards, one of which is the Master Gardener, and place it on the bottom. And this is going to be your draw pile throughout the game, right? So you're going to have a draw pile. You're going to be drawing. And like I said, the game end is triggered when you reveal the Master Gardener. But everyone's going to start with a hand of 5. There are some mechanics that you're going to want to play, want to see at that when you might get something like a Thorn card that comes out right in the middle or in the beginning of a setup. You got to deal with that immediately. And so I would say, check the rule book on that when you get it. But it's a pretty straightforward game. I do want to say that I really love the components. These are high quality, nice little wooden pieces. You got the 5 fruit here and the single fruit, these yellow, and then you have these really cool dove pieces, which I really enjoy as well. And the cards feel really nice also. But every player is going to start with a hand of 5, and on your turn you're actually going to use your doves like you would in like a worker placement, right? Because one of the things that everyone will have is a random gardener. They'll all get a gardener card. Each gardener card has an effect, which is pretty cool. And so you'll have the gardener here, the worker, that'll be in your main gardener space, and you're going to take one of these doves and you're going to place it on the worker. This is going to allow you to pray, plant, prune, or appoint. And as you're going through this process, you have these cool player aids that are going to tell you everything that you need to know. And you actually get 2 of them. And so you'd have one on the turn sequence, and you would have one on the team bonuses. And I'll talk about that in a second because I think it's a really cool aspect of the game. So on your turn, what you're going to actually do is after you've moved your worker, your dove onto your gardener, or if you had another worker out, or if you wanted to collect fruit, you could move it onto the fruit section. There are just different places where you can put your dove. You would then perform any one of those actions. And so in this case, if I wanted to plant, I would then take one of the seed cards, that I have from my hand here, and I would actually place that seed card right here on the player mat. It says Seeds and Thorns. You're going to place that there. And this other worker, I'm going to move over here, and I'm just going to collect the fruit. Now, at the end of the game, fruits, they're worth points, right? So you're wanting to get the most fruit. That's how you're going to win, ultimately. That's where all your points are going to come from. And that's essentially my turn there, right? So at the end of my turn, I'm going to recall my doves. They're going to go back over here to my little dove spot. And then I'm actually going to draw a card. You must draw a card, and if you have more than 7, you got to discard, right? So that's pretty much a little bit of an overview of kind of how to play the game. But you're going to be able to put out these workers, and they're going to be able to give you new effects. And so each one of them has a spot where you can place a dove. And so you want to appoint workers to be able to do more and just get some more options out here. One of the things that's actually really, really cool is you can take the same type of worker and you just stack it. And when you do, you start to gain these team bonuses. So now I have 2 of the manager card here, and they're placed on top of one another. Now they both have the same effect, same name, just some different artwork, but everything does the same thing there. But you can stack it, and now you've got these team bonuses. And so when you appoint workers to the same type and teams in your gardens, you gain bonuses. So 1 worker, you have no bonus. 2 workers, you're going to get 2 fruit. 3, you're going to get 3 fruit or a dove. And if you place the 4th worker, you're going to get 4 fruit or a dove, which is really nice. The doves, again, are going to let you do more, so you want to collect doves. But here's what's also really cool. When you're playing against somebody else, you can actually appoint a worker to their space and fill that up. And when you do, you actually get bonuses as well, which is really, really cool. So if I place this on another player, I'm going to be able to get bonuses. I'm helping them because now they're going up in the stack, but I can also get helped here and gain some team bonuses, which is just an element I really, really enjoy. But what ends up starting to happen in the game is you're starting to move your seeds and you're starting to plant more. So I would plant the 2nd. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shift this over and I'm going to place it right there. Ultimately, you're going to realize I only have a certain amount of spaces. If I ever draw a thorn card, if I ever draw one of these thorn cards, I have to play it immediately. And what ends up happening is that it just shifts. And I would put that down there. Now, thorns are worth negative points, and there's some really neat things that you can do here. But if I went to plant another seed, and I don't have one here in my hand, but let's say I went here and I found another seed. I had another seed to plant. I'm going to plant this seed. It starts to push things off my player mat and onto the other player's mat. And this would go around until you get back to the person that initially started the shift. But what's interesting is that these thorns can actually be pushed into other player mats, right? And one of the cool things that you can do with the thorns is you can actually pay to prune them. So you can pay 2 fruit, right, to discard a thorn. And so when you pay the 2, it would get discarded, and that is no longer negative points. But what's also really cool is I can help somebody else, and I can actually pay fruit to discard someone else's thorn on their player mat. And if I do that and I prune their thorn, I actually at the end of the game get 3 fruit for everyone else's pruned thorns, which is a really neat mechanic to be able to help people out, and it's going to help you out at the end because you're going to get some bonus points. Like I said, play is going to continue until this Master Gardener card is drawn out. Once this Master Gardener card comes out, boom, that's it. We're going to have that turns up until the first player, and the game is over, and we're going to tally up the score. Here are some things that I really enjoyed about New Kingdom Gardeners. One, I like the accessibility. My son's about to be 8, and he loves this game. He started playing it when we got it, so I mean, you're 7 then, right? And he really enjoys this game. It's enough where he can pick it up. Yeah, he's learning the reading and all that kind of stuff, so it's a cool tool there, but he loves the mechanic because he understands it. It's accessible in that regard. So I really love this as a family style game. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a quick play. So the box will tell you it plays up to 30 minutes, right? And I think that's it, full player count. You can play the game pretty quickly for the most part. At 2 players, just really nice game, good family style game in my opinion. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I really like the components. They're nice. They're quality wooden components. They got this cool screen printing on them. And so like the doves, just really, really cool stuff that I just, like I said, I enjoy that. I'm a fiddler, so I always like it when I can get some nice pieces that make cool noises and stuff. That just works well for me. But overall, I really think the gameplay is just very satisfying. And one of the things that I enjoy about it is more of like, instead of like take that, there is a much more have that kind of thing. Like, I'm going to do something that's going to help you, but I'm also going to receive a bonus for helping you. And I dig that. Now, I will say there can be some take that in some sense where I'm pushing thorns onto other people's player mats and those kind of things, and yeah, that can mess with somebody, and at the end of the day, they may not dig that if they get stuck with it and have the three points. But that's not a primary focus of the game. The primary focus of the game is going to literally be helping people and trying to gain the most amount of points and getting rid of these thorns. And if I can help you by pruning them, I'm going to gain more points at the end. This is just a really fun game. I think, like I said, it's simple, it's accessible. It does have a strategy element, which I really enjoy, and I like being able to put out these workers and and start to be able to do more stuff. And so I would highly recommend New Kingdom Gardeners here. And so yeah, that's going to be what I say about that. And then we'll look at New Kingdom Sowers here in a second. So let's get that party started. All right, so now we're going to look at New Kingdom Sowers. This is the second game from New Kingdom Gaming, and this is a 1 to 2 player game, and it is based on the parable of the different soils in the Bible, right? So you have the rocky soil, the thorny soil, the good soil, right? And so this is the basis of the game, and you as a player can choose between Aquila or Priscilla, and you pick one of the 2 players that you want, and then you would be able to begin the game. Again, I'm not going to do a how to play video, just kind of give you a simple overview of how the game plays, and then just share my thoughts on the game. Again, for the sake of this, I'm just going to pick Aquila here. I'll put Priscilla off to the side for right now. But on your turn, or as you're setting up, you would shuffle your deck, and you would draw 4 cards. And then you would also have one of these double-sided player aids. So you just have one double-sided player aid, and then you'd be able to start the game. So the turns in the game, it's not complex. It's actually not a complex game at all. But I really actually enjoy the mechanic itself. I think there's definitely strategy within the game because there's a lot of ways to lose. If you can't complete any one of the actions in the game in its fullness, you're going to lose. And so you have to manage your cards well. And so there's definitely like some challenge in that. And so you have this little player mat here right in the center. And what's interesting about this is you have this option called the path, and that's one of the places you can play your cards. Both characters are able to play their cards here. This is a shared location. And so you can play a card there, and it would be face down in and through that process here. But now with that, you also have the rocky soil. And in this, you can only play yellow cards. So this top half is the yellow cards. The bottom half is the black cards, the black seed cards. And so what you're going to do is when you play a yellow seed card here, you have to do this in like in lower order. So it's 10 to 1. So like if the bottom card here was 10, I would then have to play a 9. Now again, they don't have to be sequential. It just has to be lower than that card. So if it was a 10, I'd have to play anything lower than 10. And if there's ever 4 cards in here, they actually would then get discarded and placed into the path face down. And so those are the 2 yellow card spots you have. And then you have the thorny soil, in which you can play only the black seed card. So there's a black seed card, and I didn't really show this earlier, but you have a yellow seed card. Pretty clear on how to denote that. And then there's the numbers up on the top and the bottom corners. So you have the black and the yellow. And so you would then be able to place a black card on the thorny soil. And when you place that here, it actually allows you to draw 3 cards from your deck, and then you have to put 4 back. And what's crazy is if you can't put 4 back at any time, because maybe you only had one black card here, and then you have to go and collect 3, and you can't put 4, you're going to lose the game, right? Which is crazy. If your deck ever runs out, and you got 30 cards, if your deck ever runs out, you lose the game. And so there's a lot to manage in that. And so you're going to play cards in the thorny soil. What you're really trying to do, and what the objective, moreover, in the game is, you're going to want to cycle through your deck, because what you're really looking to do here is be able to get on the good soil 1 through 10. So you're going to want to eventually be able to place your cards down. There was that little 2. It was a sneaky bugger. And then you can start to place them here. And these do need to be sequential, right? And so as you're going through, you want to assemble your black seed cards 1 to 10 sequentially in ascending order in the good soil. That's how you'll win the game. Again, managing your deck of cards, making sure that you have, strategize that and being able to do that effectively. From a gameplay perspective, overall, I mean, again, I think Jack is over at New Kingdom Gaming, and this one he actually is designed by Scott Cable. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize. And this is a game that I believe they designed together, Jack Dunbar as well. And Again, simple mechanic, but a lot of fun. And so if you're looking for a quick 2-player game that you can play, I would really recommend this. It's one of those games, again, it's in the family weight area, you know what I mean? So you can sit down and play. It's a quick game, but there is strategy. You definitely are going to have to, work through your deck properly because you're trying to get this 1 through 10, and it's not always easy. And you can't play runs there. So like if I had 1, 2, 3 in my hand, I can only play 1 card at a time. I can't go back in and just be like, oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, and now I've got this run going. You can't do that. So you have to implement strategy. There's also ways to gain a card off of the Thorny Soil. So if you had played a card of the Thorny Soil, you can get it back. And I'm not remembering, so let me look here. Oh yeah, you can pick up a card from the Thorny Soil, or after you've played it into the path. So when you play a card into the path, you're able to pick up one of these cards from the Thorny Soil. And play it that way. So again, a lot of really neat strategy in the game, and I just think it's they're doing a great job creating these really accessible games that you can sit down, learn quickly, play quickly, and just have a lot of fun doing it. And I love that both New Kingdom Gardeners and New Kingdom Sowers, again, they're biblically inspired games, and I absolutely love that, and think that Jack over at New Kingdom Gaming is just doing a phenomenal job of bringing his faith into the gaming space. And so I'll have links to both, like some how to play videos to both games in there if you want to get a more in-depth look. For sure, check that out, and definitely look up New Kingdom Gaming. I'll have a link to their website as well in the description. But I really, really want to encourage you to dive into these games. Again, especially if you're looking for a nice, light family game, or just a nice 2-player game. So this is something I could take to a restaurant with my wife. My wife and I go and we play games at restaurants all the time. This New Kingdom Sowers is definitely one of those games that we can do that with. Again, it's not a huge package, right? What you see here is what you get. You got your your 2 decks of cards. You got your little, player mat or board, and then you have your player aids. And so again, small package, which is really cool. So this is a game that my wife and I will definitely be taking to the restaurants, and that's a lot of fun. So if you're looking for that style game, I definitely would recommend this, absolutely. And Jack's just a super cool dude, and you should support him anyway. Great man of God, and just has a love for people. So I'm all about that, and you should be too. So again, all the links will be in the description. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please do the whole YouTube thing, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, even let your dog watch it, because that'd be fun. They don't get to watch YouTube videos all the time. All right, so let's bring them into the mix. Cool. All right, awesome. Thanks again. Hope you're having a wonderful day. God bless.